Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, we'll be talking about implementation of inheritance. So in the previous video, we talked about the theory of inheritance, and in this current video, we'll be implementing all of that. Okay. So what is inheritance? Inheritance is a way of deriving all the operations of a base class to a child class if that child class is inheriting from the parent class, obviously. So what does this inheritance helps us to achieve? So first of all, it helps us to create a more reusable code. So if we have a parent class and we provide all the functionalities in it, which are common to all, and then create the subclasses from that particular class and make all the subclasses uh, inherit the parent class, then we can use all the code inside the parent class as well as the new code that we want to add in the other classes. So let's take an example. We have a vehicle class, right? Now, I can have multiple types of vehicles, right? So some vehicles can use petrol as a mode of, fuel consumption. Some are using diesel, and some run on electricity, right? And apart from all that, there is another factor that distinguishes the vehicles. That is a transmission type, right? So some are automatic and some are manual. So how do we, segregate all these things, right? And make sure that nothing is getting repeated, but we are not implementing something that is already been implemented, right? So like we are making our code more of reusable and readable, correct? So let's take an example right now. Okay. So I have this vehicle class already created. Now, as I said, key vehicles can be of use can be using different fuels, right? So what if I use a fuel type class, right? And I will use vehicle as a parent class for this particular class, correct? Now I will be initializing. Okay, so I'll be passing self, and as I'm using vehicle as a parent class, so that's for sure I'll be not creating object for it now. So I'll be working with the fuel type only. So our vehicle uses name, model, and year, right? So I need to have those in the initialization as well as now the fuel type. So this is a new thing that has been added. So I'll do self dot fuel type is equals to fuel type, right? And now I have to call my parent class. So I'll be using super function, okay? So I'll be doing super dot init. Okay, init spelling is wrong. So init, then self and name, model, and year. So I'll pass all this stuff in this, okay? Now let's create a function def print fuel type, okay? I'll be having a self, and what this function do is it simply returns that this car is of, okay, uses this fuel to run, okay. Okay, now what I will do, I will need to instantiate the fuel type class, right? So I'll obviously create this class nexon, then there will be fuel type, and I'll be passing the name as nexon, okay. My model will be, let's say, Tata, right? Because it's a Tata car, and the year will be 2020, and let's suppose I'm using fuel type as petrol. Okay, now if I do nexon dot print fuel type, it will be print, because I'm returning the statement over here and I have to print it, okay. And if I run it now, so I'll be getting this. Why I'm getting this? Because vehicle init takes 4.5 value, okay. What did I pass extra name? Okay, super not init says name model year. Fuel type is taking name model year. Okay, yeah. So next one uses petrol to run. Okay, got it. Now this is the example of a classic single inheritance. Okay, and like I'll first I'll segregate the code differently. I'll tell you what I used over here. So for first of all, the fuel type is inheriting feature from the vehicle class, which I can also show like this. So even though I have instantiated the fuel type class, but I can also access the function of my parent class, that is vehicle class. And now if I run this, so the car can go easily above 130. Okay, got it. So yeah, the fuel type is a derived class now, and the vehicle is the base class. Okay, I initialize the function, and then I assign the fuel type parameter to the fuel type class only. And as my name, model, and year were the part of vehicle class, I use the super class. Okay, and then did name, model, year. So one thing, if I don't use super, instead of this, I can use vehicle. Okay, dot. So I can directly call the class. Okay, and now one thing that I would like to show, if I'm doing name, model, and year, we will run into a issue. Okay, so unless and until I'm using self over here, this will not run. So whenever you are directly calling the class name, directly initializing, calling the constructor of the class, you have to have the self keyword with it. Okay, but if you are using the super function, so super function is the Python's keyword only. Okay, so in this, if you're using this, you are directly able to access the parent class without calling the self function. Okay, so if you see, it is working. Now, next thing that I would like to tell you, this is the part of, this is the example of a single inheritance. Okay, so one derived class and one base class. Now, I would like to show you the difference, like the multi-level inheritance as well. And let's say I'll create Indica as a, you know, a new object. So I'll be initializing transmission over here, and for this I have to pass Indica, right? This is also a Tata made car. So it was first launched in 2001, I guess, yeah. And it is of various variety, petrol, diesel as well. So I'll be using petrol here, and the transmission is manual. Okay. Now, if I would be, printing indica dot print transmission, and again I will do one more print dot indica dot self dot fuel type. Sorry, fuel type, print fuel type. Yeah. Now next will be my indica dot it was speed test, right? Yeah. So this function is a part of transmission class. This is the part of fuel type class, and this is the part of my vehicle type. Okay. So for now, I'll just comment this out. And now if I run this, so indica object, so indica is an object for the transmission class. Okay. And the init function will initialize the entire class, and then all the print functions. So you can see indica runs on petrol, is a manual vehicle. Then indica is use petrol to run, which you can see over here. Okay. And then the car can go easily above 130, which is from here. Okay, now I have explained you about the single inheritance, multi-level inheritance. Okay, you can make it multiple inheritance as well. So this transmission can take the, vehicle as a parent class as well, but then you will not be able to use this fuel type. Okay, so like, let's keep it this way only right now. Okay, and yeah, one another thing that I would like to show you is uh, print fuel type. So this is the classic example of method overriding. Okay, and I will just do f uh, hi self dot name. Okay, so I'm just calling out the name of the car only. So see, fuel type is in the transmission function as well now, and as well as in the fuel type function. Okay, so right now fuel type is the parent of the transmission class, but the same method which is getting called in the fuel type is also in the transmission. So this method will be overridden. Okay, so print fuel type from the fuel type class will be overridden by the print fuel type from the transmission class. And if you can see, if I run this now, the answer will be high indica only. So as you can see over here, high and the car name. So okay, now let's also talk about the multiple inheritance as well. So instead of fuel type, if I do the vehicle and I have to you know remove this function, I will remove the fuel type from this as well, because fuel type is not getting called in my vehicle class. Okay, it's only name, model, and year. And now if you see, if I try to access this function print fuel type, as I have commented it out from here, what will be the scenario? Okay, now let's run it. Transmission object has no attribute print fuel type, because print fuel type is the part of my fuel type function class only, and not the transmission class. Okay, and as we have created vehicle as the parent class for transmission as well, so I am not able to access any of the methods inside my fuel type class. Okay, so I hope you have understood all the factors associating with the inheritance and how it works. So if you guys have any doubts, please do mention those in comments. And if you like my videos, please share it with your friends, and do subscribe to my channel. So see you in the next video, guys. Have a nice day. Bye.